This is James Holder for IFL TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. I'm at the Platinum Community Estate in Bolton. With me, I've got the WBO mandatory challenger Tyson Fury. How are we doing, Tyson?
I'm good, thanks, James. Are you?
I'm very well.
It's nice to see you up in Bolton.
I was going to say thank you for you guys for having me down. I always enjoy coming down here. I really do.
No problem.
We're deep in your camp now. Not long left to your fight against Christian Hammer. Everything's gone as expected?
Yeah, everything's been good. I've had some great sparring with Martin Redanowski, Big Sexy Sean Turner, Kevin the Kingpin Johnson. I've had some great sparring, there's been some amateur lads come up from Northside Gym and it's been good. I've had lots of sparring. I've been sparring every day, 10, 12 rounds a day. Gets a bit repetitive, but then again, it's training camp, it's supposed to. Weight's good, everything's okay. No injuries, it flew free, so perfect.
You seem in a lot better place than when I saw you last time, and I know that's you're due to the fact that you've got your date, your fight's not too far, your hard work's done, but how much of that do you put down to the return of obviously your dad, John Fury?
It's my dad's back now after 5 years layoff. Been on holiday for 5 years, as you can imagine, but it's a lot better now. My dad's here, more inspiration, something to go at, get my teeth sunk into, and get a world title won. Now he's back.
I mean, I spoke to your dad today, and I asked him quite a frank question.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him the reason you fought on Channel 5 was that so he could watch the fights, and he told me it was. Would that be a truthful thing?
Yeah, definitely. It came at the right time, right thing at the right time. Mick Hennessy got a terrestrial TV when there was no boxing on national television, so come at a good time for me dad. He could watch them all, apart from a couple which were on foreign stations or whatever. So got to see majority of the fights.
How much does it mean to you to have your dad back in your corner, with your uncle Peter Fury?
It's good. It's good to have my dad back in the gym. See his familiar face at the gym, 7 o'clock in the morning, getting his training done and that, so it's good to have him back.
I mean, Christian Hammer stands in the way of your mandatory shot against Wladimir Klitschko. How important does that make the Christian Hammer fight?
It's very important. I'm not going to stumble at the last hurdle before the big one. Christian Hammer's a very capable opponent of beating anybody on his night. He's a very good amateur background, a world junior champion, 20 professional fights, won his last 10 against decent company, beat an undefeated guy last time out, so I'm anticipating a great fight from Christian Hammer, and I've got what he wants, the mandatory position, and if he can cash my cheque, good luck to him.
We've seen fighters in the past take a fight before they're mandatory and come unstuck, so
yeah.
It really is kind of, excuse the pun, a risky fight for you, isn't it?
Definitely, that's why it's labelled risky business. It's definitely a risky fight. It's one of them. He's the number 3 ranked contender in the world by the WBO, so it's a very risky fight for me. But I'm capable of winning against anybody, so we'll see how it goes.
We've seen you today sparring. You seemed in perfect control, more keeping yourself out of range, slipping. Is that the kind of style we're going to expect to see at the O2? Yeah,
more than likely. I'm out to hit and not be hit. I don't need to take any stupid punches. This is boxing. It's about hitting and not being hit. Christian Hammer, he's got fast hands and he throws good combinations, so it should be a good little risk for me to take, a good little challenge. See if I can slip out the way of his shots and counter him with hard ones and take him out.
I mean, you've known of him since your amateur days, since the World Amateurs and stuff, haven't you?
Yeah. Definitely, we go back a long way. 2006 was the first time I met him, and he was a good boxer. He still is today. So it's going to be good to watch, see how the fight comes, outcome of the fight happens.
I mean, if I gave you a choice to fight Wladimir Klitschko or Deontay Wilder, hands down, who would you prefer to fight?
Right now, Klitschko, because he's the number 1 in the division and he's got most of the belts. So that's the fight that I'm number 1 for. That's the fight that I want more than anyone. But I wouldn't say no to Wilder either if that fight was offered to me.
What tools do you think you've got to beat Klitschko that his other opponents haven't had or haven't shown?
I've got quite a lot of tools that they haven't got, but the one that sticks out in my mind most is balls. Big set of balls, and that's all you need to beat Klitschko, really. He hasn't had anybody with balls fight him since he lost to Corey Sanders. The rest of the guys have just been going in there to get beaten, take the money and go home. Look for a way out. But that's not me. I'm looking for a way into the history books, not a way out of the dressing room and cash that check in.
I mean, the heavyweight belts have been in a little pocket of Eastern Europe for so long.
Yeah.
We kind of feel like we've been not robbed of a British heavyweight champion, but we haven't had a chance to affect that division. Do you feel you can make a big impact on it and go on to be lineal champion?
I think I can, you know. I actually believe I can. I know I can. Britain has had very few and far between champions, as in heavyweights. So you could probably name them all on one hand. I think I'm even going to try. There was Herbie Hyde, Lennox Lewis, Henry Akinwande, David A. Have I missed any? Any other world champions? I know Wardley Harrison won a version like a WBC or something, a WBF or an ABC title, but we're not going to class that. So there was your champions, apart from going back into the bare knuckle days and all that sort of stuff. So to be a part of that is a very, very good thing for me. You know, I'm almost there. I'm in touching distance of being a heavyweight champion of the world. I'm undefeated, I'm young, ambitious, so it's all in front of me to go out there and do it. You know, 2015, it's the beginning of the year. I've got a fight in February. We'll see where the year takes me. You know, hopefully I'll get another few fights in before the mandatory date's set, before they agree terms and sign contracts. So we'll see.
Do you think 2015 could see Tyson Fury become world champion? Or is that maybe...
You never can tell. If I get a shot at the world title this year, then yeah. But if I don't, then no. But there's nothing I can do about that, is there? I can only train and win, and that's it.
If Al Heyman phoned you up and said, listen, we want to make the Deontay Wilder fight, we've spoken to Mick and Peter, here are the terms, would you be willing to listen to that?
Definitely. Al Heyman knows better though than to phone me with any sort of deal, because I take his hand off. He knows better. He's going to protect his charge and make money out of him. You don't want to cash him and get him set about for nothing.
Do you think the best need to fight the best though, Tyson, in all divisions? Because I'm not even going to mention the Mayweather-Pacquiao fiasco that's been going on for so long. It's boring. We need to see the best fight the best. Would that be a fair statement?
I think it's a very fair statement. I think the best heavyweight fight out there is the most sellable, marketable is me and Wilder, but the best heavyweight fight out there is me and Wladimir, because that's the only person who also got the skills that I've got. There isn't another heavyweight out there who's got them.
Was there times when throughout your career, when your dad hasn't been there, where you thought, I really could have done with my dad today? Yeah,
there has been times, you know, when you want to speak to him and he's not there and whatever. 5 years has been a hard 5 years, but it's been a good grounding 5 years. The last 3 years have been much easier when I hooked up with Peter and started training full time and become a professional boxer more or less. I know I was like an undefeated champion before that, but the last 3 years is where I really become myself and matured into a man from a kid.
I mean, this time last year, not so long ago, we was getting Tyson Fury's Valentine's Day advice. Doesn't seem like that gone. That's how quick the year's gone. I mean,
goes fast, doesn't it?
Yeah. How many times do you anticipate fighting this year before the mandatory? Will you look
I'd like to fight 2 or 3 times, but I don't know if that's going to be able to happen. I don't know what the story is. You know, they've not informed me of a lot of things that's going on behind the scenes, so I don't know where I'm up to with anything.
I mean, Peter Fury's your main trainer. Your dad's back now. Will he come and be a joint trainer with Peter Fury?
Yeah. My dad's going to be a joint trainer now with Peter, and hopefully it will carry on to be like that.
All right. Well, listen. Everything's set for the O2 now. Risky business. Tyson Fury taking on Christian Hammer. That mandatory spot on the line, so you really can't afford to slip up.
Definitely no slipping up. Not at this stage. Slip up, I'm in trouble. Dole key for me. Signing on.
You know what I've noticed as well, when I'm talking to the people in America, how well and how liked you are in the States, which is quite interesting.
I'm liked all over the world, apart from in Manchester.
And Russia.
I don't know, the Russians do like me. When I went on holiday to Magaluf, it was full of Russians and they was all getting pictures with me and all
that. They all know who you was?
Yeah, of course they do.
That's incredible.
Of course they do.
Yeah, I suppose I'm underestimating the boxing fraternity in Russia.
It's a big sport, isn't it, in Russia? They love boxing.
Yeah.
Most of Europe's big with boxing, so it's good.
Would you like to fight in America again? Is that something you've thought about?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'd like to fight Las Vegas. I think Deontay Wilder's a Las Vegas fight. Doesn't come any bigger fight. Doesn't come any better venues than down there. So we'll see where the road takes us.
I mean, you fought in Madison. What was the word? Madison
Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden last time out. We get Steve Cunningham. We saw pretty much a whole career in one fight. We saw you fight, we saw you get knocked down, we saw you come back victorious, we saw you sing yourself out. The Americans, they love that stuff, don't they?
The Americans have got a little soft spot for Tyson Fury, I know they have, and now they've got Deontay Wilder, it gives us a connection to come over there and whoop his ass, as they say in the USA.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting on board that train, getting over there, doing a good job on him, and becoming a household name in the US as I am in the UK.
All right, well listen, Tyson Fury, I can't thank you enough for answering my question so honestly. Said it's really good to see you in a good place, and I have a feeling that's to do with the return of this man a little bit.
Return of the Mac.
Get this, and hear it loud and clear. This is a man in the making in his own right. There's no better than this man before or after. All the rest of them was 15 stone men. This is a 6'9", 19 stone man, can move and throw combinations. You show me another. He isn't one. Look at this man, Tyson Fury.
Thanks, Tyson.
Cheers, James.